Harvesting asparagus is one of the greatest early treats that I experience as a gardener. I've heard people say that asparagus grows as if someone just stuck it right there in the ground. And that's pretty hard to argue with. But after going through unstable Maryland weather, asparagus is the reward at the end of March. Let me walk you through my garden in late winter, early spring as a seasoned Maryland gardener. This is harvest time. We got 2 eggs!
Yes.
Woohoo! But bad news is we have to crawl all the way in there. Ladies! Yes, we, aka my daughter. Ladies, are you laying eggs? Woohoo! Good job. Hi, ladies. Woohoo! Eggs! Have an omelet tomorrow morning. No? Thank you very much. Woohoo! You want to wash them?
I always wash them.
Then you can wash them. That would be great. It's the middle of March. It got up to 83 degrees today. We're currently under a tornado watch, and tomorrow they're talking about snow. Welcome to Maryland. I'm harvesting the rest of the carrots that are in this bed. I was able to get the carrots over here, and now I'm moving over to this section. I know that it looks like there aren't very many in there, but I promise there's a lot more than you think. Look at all these carrots I was able to get. Ah, yay! I know they're small, but I don't care. I don't care. I grew those over the winter. Yay! Now I can use this space for a spring planting. Somehow my baby kale seedlings made it through the winter, which is very cool. I'm gonna take this little baby right there. I'm actually not the biggest fan of kale, but I did hear that if you eat it at this baby stage, that it's supposed to be less fibrous and less tough and much more flavorful. So let's give it a try. Oh my gosh, it has so much flavor. Almost like a nutty flavor too. All right, I think I'm onto something. I know that it's fall, spring, and it'll probably snow tomorrow, but I just wanted to show you a few signs that I'm seeing of spring all over my property. Daffodils, they make me so happy. This is called Forsythia, and it's got a beautiful yellow flower on it. This is wild blackberry, and while it's extremely thorny, it produces some pretty amazing blackberries. Buds all over my fruit trees, and my cherry tree is even trying to shoot some leaves out. My garlic looking nice and strong. Hyacinth are trying to pop up. I don't know when the cherry blossoms are set to come out, but oh, I'm so excited. This is my big cherry tree. It's actually not that big, but we planted it when it was like 2.5 feet tall. So it's big to me. You're big to me. March in Maryland. Same daffodils, 24 hours apart. The good news is it's melting fast. The greenhouse is really beautiful in the snow though. I still prefer it to be warm, but this is pretty cool too. All right, let's go into the greenhouse. Oh my gosh, look at this. Look, oh my gosh, all the condensation because it's so much warmer out in there. Oh my goodness. Ooh. Oh, it's so warm in here. Wow. No, it's like, oh my gosh, my sunglasses are fogging up. Oh, it's so pretty. I love it. Thermometer says 90 degrees in here with snow out there. Ooh, that one's almost ready. This one is too. Most of my tomato seedlings have popped up. That's pretty exciting. Now that we're finally past the cold, it's time for me to turn my attention to the asparagus patch. Believe it or not, but the first harvest of the season is coming out of this bed behind me. This is one of my 2 asparagus patches, and it's totally fine that it looks like this because most of what you're seeing here are actually the ferns that come from the asparagus that I let go to seed. There are definitely some weeds in there as well, so I'll make sure to use my gloves in case there's any old poison ivy, which I'm highly allergic to. So I will be extra careful, but for the most part, this should be a pretty easy cleanup. If you look in here, you see what looks like leftover stalks, but it's actually the ferns or the spears of the asparagus that have just overgrown. I want to keep them here until about this time of the year, where I'm just gonna snip them from the bottom and then I'll add some mulch and, well, first I'll add some extra soil, then I'll add some mulch on top, and the asparagus will pop up pretty soon, actually. So the first thing I'm gonna do is come in there and pull as much of that as I can. That was not very successful. Let's try this. I actually don't wanna pull too hard because I don't wanna pull one of the crowns out of the soil. So I'm just gonna pull, and if I get any resistance, then I just do that, and hopefully a lot of it breaks off. Like that. It already looks better. I'm gonna try and snip this as low as I can because this is going to signal to the crown underneath that it's time to start producing more spears for the season. So, get that out of the way. I'm coming in as low as I possibly can because the lower I snip it, the more likely it will signal to the plant that it's time to start pushing up more spears. You know what? These are not doing the trick. I'm gonna go get my loppers. These should do the trick. Wow, this crown really produced a whole bunch late in the season, which is super cool. I'm really looking forward to having asparagus really soon. I would think that I probably have at least my first harvest. Now that might not be big, but I'll probably have my first harvest by the end of March, which is awesome. I cannot wait. Look, you can almost see that this used to be asparagus because you know how asparagus gets like really woody and fibrous when it is when it's too tall. This is what the inside of asparagus looks like after it's outgrown. I think that's cool. Ooh, it's looking good. Trying to see if there are any spears that are trying to pop up. I see some worms, which is a great thing, but I don't see any. No spears. It's honestly a little too early anyway. I was just hopeful. This bed looks fantastic. I can't wait for a whole bunch of asparagus to get in here. Now I will add some soil and then I'll add some mulch on top so that I'm not mulching when the asparagus pops up. It will have to pop up through the mulch, but it'll have no problem doing that. Now I've got to clear this bed the exact same way. I'm feeling a little upset because in this bed there is a ton of English ivy. It's not poison ivy, but it's English ivy, and English ivy is really hard to get rid of. So I'm gonna do my best to get every single leaf and stem and vine out of here, but this is gonna be a pretty big challenge because I have a feeling I'm gonna be fighting it all season. Ugh, gross. You can tell that it started on the other side of the fence and it's just creeped over, and now it's like all in this bed. So I'm gonna have to get in here and really make sure that that ivy is gone. It's even creeping underneath all of these ferns. Oh, this project just got a little bit bigger. The reason why English ivy is so invasive is because, first of all, it grows really, really fast. But secondly, you only need one tiny little stem to activate a new plant. It's kind of like mint. Mint grows the same way. I can see all of these roots here. If I don't get every single stem with every single bit of root, then it's gonna come back. I'm making sure to not pull too hard so that I can get all of the stem in one go, like that. Actually coming up pretty easily. I think it's because the soil is really loose. I got a big group of it, so I'm just gonna pull and see what I can get. Oh, that was a good bunch. Okay, let's see. Can you believe that people choose to plant this in their gardens? It's so destructive. And then some people even choose to plant it so it goes up their brick house. It's so invasive. I just can't imagine doing this on purpose. Now I have seen poison ivy over here in this corner before, so I'm going to be really careful. I also have some Technu, which is basically a soap that's specifically made for the oils of poison ivy. So I'm going to make sure I thoroughly wash with that before I touch anything, like my face. Actually, I probably should just wash it on my face too, just in case. Oh, I got some wild strawberries in here. They are not the same as cultivated strawberries. they will produce these, something called mock strawberries, and they are yucky. Okay, I think I got most of the English ivy. I know I didn't get all of it, but I'm gonna continue to clear out this asparagus bed, and then hopefully I'll be able to pick up as much of it as I can find. Ivy. Bed number 2, there's still some ivy leaves in there, but without the stems or the vine, they shouldn't grow more, but I'm definitely gonna keep an eye on it now that I know that it's over here. I'm so happy to cross that off my list. I've had it on my task to-do list for at least a month, and it's again been too cold, so I'm really excited to get it over with. Those asparagus can start to pop up anytime they want now. And yes, I'm so excited. I love asparagus, and oh, I can't wait.